Okay, can we start the meeting now? It's a 3 minute past. You can wait more. Give them 2 more minutes, please.
We're live now, Chair. You can start the meeting.
Yeah, give them 2 more minutes. Because I did say, I think in the beginning, that should give them about 5 minutes. And also because meeting is not long enough, so welcome to the General Purpose and Arbitration Committee, which is being live streamed. My name is Councillor Dalu and I am the chair of the committee. Please call all attendees, mute their microphone unless they have been invited to speak. If anybody wishes to speak, please use their raise hand feature or send a message using the chat feature. And I will invite you to turn on your microphone at the appropriate point. When you are finished speaking, please remember to turn off your microphone again. Firstly, can all members of the committee please introduce themselves in turn? Councillor Zahir Hussain.
Councillor Zahir Hussain, Councillor for Solomon Victoria Ward and Vice Chair of this committee.
Councillor Allen.
Yeah, Councillor Pete Allen, Grey Bridge Ward.
Councillor Elizabeth Giles.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Elizabeth Giles, Councillor for Charlemont and Gravale and member of the panel.
Thank you. Councillor Pam Hughes is not there. Councillor Melia is not there. Councillor Miller.
I'm Councillor Kay Miller, Hitley Heath Ward. Thank you.
Yeah. Can the officer introduce themselves as well, please? Hello.
Yes, hi, thank you, Chair. I'll start. I'm Tracy Hurst. I'm the Electoral Services Manager.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Suki Sufi Nagra. I'm the Democratic Services Manager.
Yeah.
I'm Elaine Newsom. I'm the Service Manager for Democracy.
Yeah.
I'm David King. I'm a Project Officer in the Elections team.
Right.
Shane Parks, Democratic Services Officer.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I'm Indeed Johar, Democratic Services Officer.
Yeah, let's go to the agenda now. Right. Where is it? Come on. There's always a problem with the computer anyway. Come on. Right. Yes. Sorry, apology for that. Any apology for absence, Shane? Shane?
We have apologies from Councillor Amelia and Councillor Pam Hughes.
Okay, thanks. All the rest are here anyway. Members should declare any interest in the matters to be discussed at the meeting? I've got none. Nobody say anything? Gone quiet? Item 3, confirm the minutes of the meeting held on 7th of December 2020 as a correct record. Anybody move that, please? Yeah.
Chair, I'll move it. I'll move it.
I'll second that. Okay. Okay. The next item 4 is the changes to the polling places and local police and crime commissioner and combined authority mayoral elections on 6th of May 2021. And we'll come to the next one when it happened. Yes, Tracy, please.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, many thanks, Chair. Okay, so a report has been presented to committee this evening around the changes that we've needed to make to some polling station and polling places in relation to the elections that's taking place on the 6th of May. So the report has been presented together with an appendix of the arrangements and alternative proposals for those changes. In presenting this report, we would like to present the following recommendations. That approval is given to the changes to those particular polling places in the Blackheath, Langley, Smethwick, Soho and Victoria and West Bromwich Central wards, and that the authority is agreed for making any future emergency changes to polling places, that sits with the returning officer subject to consultation with relevant ward members. If I could, Chair, by way of background, just give some information around why we had to make these changes and these proposals. Our efforts around polling stations started back in September, October, and we communicated to all of our polling places at that early stage, and some of them had returned information back to us to say that due to COVID, they were, and the pandemic situation, they were not able for us to use them on the 6th of May. So that was the first reason as to why we had to look for an alternative. One of the other reasons is looking at the fact that the buildings themselves and the polling places and the rooms that we used potentially were not suitable to allow adequate social distancing. So as part of our checks and risk assessments, it was identified that there needed to be a change on that basis. So the changes that are reported and recommended in Appendix A give the information as to the considerations and the alternatives for the proposals, and we would like to present that report with those proposals for recommendation, Chair, please. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Anybody got any question? Councillor Giles? No? Hold on. Tracy,
Yes.
I have a bit of concern about the West Bromwich Town Hall, because we are going to say that it will be in the our building in where is it? Hold on, where is it? Yeah, it's a first floor of Provident Place. It is too far because 90%, about 90% people vote to the West Bromwich Town Hall, although it's not available. Is there any other building nearby which can be available? Please.
Okay, thank you, Chair. If I could just respond in the first instance, and then I might ask Dave to give you some further information. The changes to West Brom Town Hall have had to be because of the testing site for COVID.
Yeah.
And lots of alternative areas were explored, but Providence Place was deemed to be the most suitable. And I don't, if it's okay with you, Chair, if I could ask Dave to give you some more information on that.
Yep, thanks Tracy, thanks Councillor Chair. Yeah, the particular one we looked at also in West Brom, in that particular district within West Brom Central, was the library, the central library. But I think the feeling there was that the car park at the back of the library and in the immediate area should be wanted to be kept for specifically for COVID related reasons. It wants to keep the COVID testing centre at the town hall and the library, which is obviously next door, separate from any election activity going on there. So, and the Providence Place is in the same district, is geographically in the same polling district as the town hall. Has lots of car parking there that members of the public can use. We will be putting lots of signs around the immediate area, so the electors will know where to go to, including we'll give some leaflets to facilities management at the town hall. So if anybody does turn up at the wrong place, if you like, they'll be directed where to go to, either on foot or in the car. So, and that's obviously the advantage with Providence Place, is that it's within our gift. We haven't got to rely on a third-party organisation to to hire it from or to liaise with. It is a council building still, and there are suitable rooms within the ground floor of the building for us to use as a polling station.
I was thinking about the library as well, because from the high street there is no disabled.
Correct.
Like that's not suitable for disabled,
Correct.
and they can get out to the back side to the car park, which is fine. Is there another place like on building site? It used to be just a stone throw from there near to the college, new college.
Yeah.
Because they have ample room. Because I visited a long time ago, not recently. You can find any room over there, because that might be suitable, because it's just stone throw away from the West Bromwich Town Hall.
Yeah. We haven't explored that option, but obviously it's not within our gift. That was one of the big selling points of using Providence Place. That was within our powers to use those premises. And the car parking is obviously good at Providence Place, which I don't think it's perhaps so good at the site I think you're referring to, at the old West Bromwich Bond site.
Right. And is there any other place like a register office or something like that?
There's no suitable.
There are plenty car parking spaces over there.
Yeah, there's plenty of car parking.
The people have to cross the road. That's all.
Yeah, they can obviously go through the Highfields ground. People can walk through the Highfields ground and come out close to where Providence Place is. There's no real suitable. There's no real suitable room on the ground floor at Highfields, and don't think there's a lift in there either. So we did think about that one as well.
And especially, if there is a bad weather, then it will find it very difficult for the older people, especially, and disabled people, right?
Yeah.
Although they manage to walk to the West Bromwich Town Hall easy, no problem.
Yeah, we are obviously encouraging people to apply to vote by post if at all they want to as well. So if they're concerned about the extra distance going to Providence Place from where some of them might live, we've also got the postal vote option, of course.
So there is no possibility of any site near to that then?
We're not aware of one, we don't think there's a better one than Providence Place now. This is only for 1 year as well, of course.
No, most of them are, like 1 year. All of them, actually, not most of them. Okay, who is next? Councillor Miller or Councillor Giles or Councillor Stan?
Councillor Miller.
Councillor Miller.
Hi, I've read all the proposed new sites, and I have no questions about those. Basically, my question is about the ones that aren't mentioned, because I'm a councillor in Hateley Heath. Will those remain the same? And there'll be other areas, So basically, they'll remain the same. The ones that we had of alternatives are the ones that are getting changed. Lovely. That's fine.
Yes, through you, Chair, if I may. Yes, Councillor Miller, that's correct. If we have a change of an actual polling place, the actual physical polling place building, then we have to bring that change through this governance platform in order to do that. There may be changes to rooms within an actual polling place that may be different, but the venue itself stays exactly the same. So we don't have to bring those changes through these governance procedures.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Who is next? Is it Councillor Stan or Councillor Giles?
Yes.
Councillor Giles? Oh, Councillor Stan.
Councillor Stan,
carry on.
Thank you, Chair. My question is in relation to the Semitic polling station. So there's a move from the fire station to the Holy Trinity Church. So that's currently used already as a polling station. It's just the capacity and parking really that raised the concern, because it is, from off the top of my head, that the space that was used previously is quite a small space, and then the parking around that area isn't great. So that pulling two together, that raises some concerns.
Yes, Chair. Hollingston Church, I think it's basically the foyer area that's been used before previously in the church for voting. But we spoke to the minister of the church, and he's allowing us to use the whole ground floor, the whole church, I suppose, for this election. So yes, it is more than twice the space we've been able to use before to accommodate the potential increase in footfall.
Thank you. Councillor Giles?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Mine's another quick question. In regards to obviously the changes, some of these changes are going to be like temporary huts, and obviously we've got other temporary huts around the area. Obviously, also with social distancing, we're not going to be able to allow as many people into these huts and other venues at the same time. Have we got anything in place in case obviously this causes queues, and obviously towards the end of the night, if there is queues accumulated at polling stations, what's the protocol that we've got in place?
Thank you, Councillor Giles. Through you, Chair. In terms of queuing at polling station, you're absolutely right. Given the social distancing requirements, we are going to be in a position where, unlike many other elections, we are facing queues at polling stations. Now, COVID aside, under a normal practice, presiding officers are instructed if there are queues at polling stations, and particularly as this gets towards the end of the day and the closing of poll arrangements, they have a process that they need to follow whereby they have to obviously identify and check and make sure that a queue is not starting to form at that time. If there is a queue that's starting to form, we have a ticket system. So we have a number ticket system that at that point is given out to any elector that essentially would be in the queue at 10 p.m. because the law states that if a person is in the queue, whether that be inside or outside the polling station, they're entitled to vote if they were in that queue at 10 p.m. One of the additional measures we can also put in is actually placing a member of staff, one of the polling clerks, at the end of that queue as well to mitigate against ensuring that only those eligible are able to cast their vote. So in terms of the queues during the day, we will be having additional COVID marshals. We will be having additional staff that can monitor that queue during the day, because obviously that will potentially be a pinch point like no other that we've experienced due to those measures. Does that answer your question, Councillor Giles?
Yes, thank you, Tracy. Thank you for that.
Okay, so can we accept those polling changing to the polling places or station, whatever they call it? Everybody agrees?
Would you like me to call the names, Councillor?
Yes, please. That's a good idea.
If each member could just say for, against or abstain, please. Councillor Dalu?
Yes, for.
Councillor Zahir Hussain?
For.
Councillor Allen?
For.
Councillor Elizabeth Giles?
For.
Councillor Millar?
For.
Okay, Chair, that's carried unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is mayoral nomination for 21-22. Who's going to move that, please?
Councillor Daly, that would be me. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah.
So, as members of the committee are aware, every year the committee makes a recommendation to full council to approve the committee's nomination for office of Civic Mayor and Civic Deputy Mayor of Sandwell. Last year, obviously due to COVID-19, the government changed legislation and took away the requirement to hold an annual meeting of council, and obviously enacted remote meetings, which we're currently still having. Those legislations are due to cease on the 7th of May, and the council's obviously working towards having an annual meeting of council in May 2021. We've now received a valid nomination for the office of Civic Mayor of Sandwell, and approval is sought today to recommend to full council that Councillor Mushtaq Hussain be appointed as Civic Mayor of Sandwell for the 2021-22 municipal year. Also, the committee is being asked to recommend that, subject to a nomination being received from the Mayor, to recommend full council at its meeting on the 2nd of March to make an appointment to the office of Deputy Civic Mayor for the 2021-22 municipal year. I'm happy to take any questions, Chair.
Anybody got any questions, please?
I have a question. I don't really know, is this the process we go through every year? In that this committee makes the decision and then it's ratified at full council, or is that the process?
Through you, Chair, this committee makes the recommendation and it's full council that will approve it and make the appointment. So yes, normally every year, obviously last year was a very different year to COVID, but normally it's the General Purposes Committee that will make a recommendation onto full council, and that meeting of council is next week. So subject to you making that nomination for endorsement, it will go to full council next week to approve.
That's fine, thank you.
Yeah, if there is nobody else any question, I move the mayor of 2021-22, Mushtaq Hussain, will be the mayor, civic mayor for the borough of Sandwell. And could Shane ask everybody, please?
Yes, Chair. If you could just say for, against or abstain again, please. Councillor Dalu?
For.
Councillor Zahir Hussain?
For.
Councillor Allen?
For.
Councillor Elizabeth Giles?
For.
And Councillor Miller?
For.
Thank you. That's
right. If there is no any other business, because it's not always like this. Thank you very much for attending, and I declare the meeting closed. Have a safe journey. Sorry, you are I shouldn't have to say that you are stopping at home already. Anyway, have a good night. That's the only thing I can say that. Thank you very much for all of you. Good evening.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chair. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.